Schoolgirls taken from their hostel in the middle of the night. Gunmen jump the fence, break doors, shout at them to come out. By morning, parents are at the gate and the beds are all empty. Who do you think I'm talking about? If you said Chibok, you're wrong. That description fits Jangabi in Zamfara state, where hundreds of girls were taken from their boarding school in 2021. Let's try out another story. A girls' secondary school in the north. It's a government school. More than 100 girls are loaded into vehicles, driven into the bush. Days later, videos start coming out. People are counting how many kids have been taken, looking for their children. Are you still thinking about Chibok? This one is Dapchi in Yobe State in 2018. One more. Students taken from a school in northern Nigeria. Their names are on international news. There are hashtags, protests, pressure on the government to bring them back. You're finally right. This was Chibok. It also happened in Kankara, Jangabi, Tegina, Bethel Baptist, Kuriga, and now Maga and St. Mary's. The truth is, Chibok was not a one-off horror. Chibok was the beginning of a horrible pattern. Since 2014, Nigeria has had a whole timeline of school kidnappings. Primary schools, secondary school, even universities, where children are taken straight from school or from their hostels or from school buses. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about just those ones. Children and students that were taken because they were in school. I'm not going to talk about highway kidnappings or village raids, just school attacks. Alright, let's get into it. We'll start in Chibok, April 2014. Gunmen went into government girls' secondary school in Borno State and they took about 276 schoolgirls from their dormitory in the middle of the night. Some escaped that night, some were freed in groups over the years, but almost 100 are still missing today. Their families have been waiting for more than 10 years for their daughters to come back. I have a whole video on this case. I'll add a link in the caption for you to watch it. That attack created Bring Back Our Girls, and it showed something. If you attack a school and carry children, the whole world will pay attention. 4 years later, in February of 2018, it happened again. This time it was in Dapchi, Yobe State. Gunmen linked to ISWAP, they abducted 110 girls from Government Girls Science and Technical College. Most of them were brought back after about a month. 5 died. One girl, Leah Sharibu, she's still in captivity because she reportedly refused to renounce her Christian faith. So even before this bandit wave really started, we already had 2 major girls' schools, Chibok and Dapchi, both attacked, both used to send a message about education. Then from late 2020, something shifted. In Kankara, Katsina State, gunmen attacked Government Science Secondary School at night and they took hundreds of boys from their hostels. The state later announced that 344 boys had been freed. After that, Katsina closed its boarding schools, and for a while, other states actually closed their schools out of fear as well. From there, bandit groups in the northwest and north central, they started copying the same idea. Go into a school, carry as many students as you can, negotiate, and get paid. 2021 became the year of repeated school kidnappings. In Kagara in Niger State, gunmen attacked Government Science College. They killed one boy, abducted dozens of students and staff. Days later in Jangabe in Zamfara State, they went after Government Girls Secondary School. About 279 girls were taken in one night. They were later released. In Kaduna, they hit higher institutions. Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka. 39 students were taken from hostels. Greenfield University, that's a private university. Several abducted students were killed in captivity and others were released only after a very large ransom was paid. At the same time, the younger children were still being targeted. In Tegina, in Niger State, gunmen attacked Salihu Tanko Islamic School and they abducted over 130 pupils, some still in primary school. Some children reportedly died in captivity. The rest were released after like 3 months when parents and community members, they sold property and everything that they had to raise ransom. And then Bethel Baptist High School, also in Kaduna, more than 120 students were taken from their hostels in the early hours. They did not return in one group. They released them in small batches over many months until the very last boy came home after more than like 2 years in captivity. By the end of 2021, organizations like UNICEF and Save the Children, they were putting the number of abducted school children in Nigeria at over 1,000 in just that short period. After that intense year, the headlines slowed down a bit, but the pattern stayed. In 2023 in Zamfara State, gunmen invaded female hostels connected to Federal University Gusau and they abducted at least 24 female students and workers. Some were rescued in military operations, others were held for months before being freed. Then in March of 2024, it spiked again. In Kuriga, Kaduna State, gunmen attacked a primary and junior secondary school complex, and then they abducted, how many is it? Around 287 students and one teacher. That became one of the largest school kidnappings since Chibok. The children were eventually rescued, but the schools in that area, they were closed. Many families kept their children at home for safety. And now we are here. Recently, gunmen attacked a girls' government school in Maga in Kebbi State. They abducted about 25 schoolgirls, killing one senior staff member that tried to protect them. Barely days later, St. Mary's Catholic Primary and Secondary School in Papiri in Niger State was attacked as well. In the early hours, gunmen entered the school, they killed the security man, then they moved from dorm to dorm, just taking students. Different reports have given slightly different numbers, but they agree on well over 200 children and teachers were taken away. Some local news and churches have put the total number at over 300. Since 2014, estimates say at least 1,600 to 1,700 school children have been abducted from schools in Nigeria in different incidents. In some 12 months period, just in 1 year, more than 1,000 students were taken from schools in the north alone. Right now, the response from government is not only press conferences. Because of the recent attacks in Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Katsina, Plateau, and other states, authorities have started closing schools as a safety measure. Some states, they've closed all primary and secondary schools. Some have closed just boarding schools. Some have closed schools in the entire local government areas. The federal government has temporarily closed a number of federal unity colleges in high-risk states as well. So right now, there are children at home, not because they're on holiday, not because exams have finished, but because school is considered too risky to be in at the moment. When you hear all the names together, right? Chibok, Dapchi, Kankara, Jangabe, Afaka, Greenfield, Tegina, Bethel, Gusau, Kuriga, Maga, St. Mary's. It starts to sound like one long, endless list. But for each family, it's not a list. It's their child, it's their school, it's their town. Some of the Chibok girls are now adults. Some are still missing. Leah Sharibu is still not free. Some Tegina children, they never came back alive. Some Bethel students spent years negotiating with bandits instead of focusing on WAEC. And as I'm recording this right now, children from Maga and St. Mary's, they are still missing. Their parents are still waiting for any sort of news from anywhere. I don't have a neat ending for this video. Thank you for watching this video.